Hi everyone, I'm Colleen Cross, editor of Canadian Pizza Magazine, and I'm here joined by three veteran Canadian pizzeria owner-operators. They're going to talk a little bit about their experiences that they've had during the pandemic, and maybe by doing that we can get some ideas from them, and they'll get some ideas from each other, and hopefully we can get a little bit of dialogue going. We have Corey Med of Two Guys and a Pizza Place in Lethbridge, Alberta. Hi, Corey.
There. Hi.
And we have Diana Klein of Diana's Cucina and Lounge in Winnipeg. Hello.
Hi.
And last but not least, we have Giorgio Taverniti of Frank's Pizza Place in Toronto.
Good morning.
Welcome, everyone. Hi, Giorgio.
Hi.
We know you have your plates full right now and adjusting your operation to the day-to-day changes that this pandemic is bringing. So we really thank you for joining us. I guess the first question is, and I'll just go over each person one at a time, but maybe I'll start with you, Corey. How has the pandemic affected your pizzeria?
So yeah, I guess in mid-March there, everything hit the fan, I suppose, and decisions were made quickly and day to day. I guess you had posted sort of a summary of what we did, but we had to close our dining room that fits about 45 people on March 18th. Then maybe the next day after that, we sort of realized the city was pretty quiet, so we shortened our hours every day. We now close at 9 or 10. Had to lay off about 17 staff, and we still have about 25, so that's nice. The first weekend was a little slow, and we were definitely worried about what was going to happen, and there's lots of rumors of restaurants closing and what's actually the businesses that are allowed to open. Am I allowed to be open or not? Essential, I'm sorry, gosh, it's too early. So am I essential or not, etc. And then the next week, support started coming in, and we actually, you could actually see that people were comfortable getting pizza and takeout, and since then it's been going okay for sure. We've the dining room was about 35% of our business, and that's gone, but delivery and takeout have been up a bit, and just sort of day to day following the national rules, the Alberta rules, how our city feels and how things are going, and just playing it by ear a lot. But we're getting by, and we have it better than most, I suppose, and the staff have been very cooperative, and it's nice to sort of implement these new extra cleaning and extra disinfections and extra sort of procedures and stuff, and the staff are on board with it 100%, and it's been good. Customers are very respectful when they walk in, and as of today, I guess we're getting used to the new normal, and we're trying our best, and everybody seems to be sort of on board. So we'll see what's next, and now they're starting to talk about reopening things, so we'll talk about that later, I guess, I'm sure, but for now we're getting by and just sort of winging it, I suppose.
Good. How about you, Diana? What's going on with your pizzeria?
So the pandemic has actually been a positive for my business. We preemptively closed the lounge. Our lounge seats 48 the week before they announced that they were closing. We were watching things very carefully and looking at what was going on in other parts of Canada. So, the last thing we wanted to do was to be a hub for infections and for that. So we preemptively closed the lounge. We put announcements on Facebook and through our e-zine, and just to be on the precautious side. And what I found is all of our sales shifted to delivery and pickup. So I actually pulled a report the other day to see where we were, and we're within a few $100s of what we did last year at this time. So it's been really good to see that, because there's a lot of fear in doing it, and some heated discussions. I had to lay off my main server, and some scary things. We reduced our hours a little bit, and of course, getting everybody into the new normal in terms of extra cleaning, extra disinfecting. What does that mean in terms of social distancing, and when we have lineups? And again, Winnipeg Winnipeggers are usually very kind, and my clientele are usually very understanding, and so they've done their best, and my team members have done their best as well to just observe what the guidelines are, which change from time to time. And we did everything we could in terms of, we had masks available. So we told our team members, if you feel more comfortable wearing a mask, this was in the early days, by all means do. But most important thing is to wash your hands frequently. And we implemented contactless delivery and other options for pickup and other options for take-home options. So overall, it's been actually pretty good for us.
That's good. That's encouraging to hear. Yeah, Giorgio, how about you? You've had to close your dining room as well?
Yeah, we did. It's been an emotional roller coaster ride for us from the beginning till now. We were probably one of the first ones to shut our dining room before the city announced it, just because we were living above the restaurant at the time. We were renovating our home. I had my wife and kids there in the restaurant. So we decided, I think 3 or 4 days before the city made everybody shut down, we shut down the dining room. Everybody thought we were crazy. Customers coming in, what are you doing? You're gonna lose money. Then I started panicking. Nobody was calling in. Everybody went into panic mode. And then by the second week into it, we can't keep up with orders. It's just been insane. We have a contactless pickup outside, so where our patio doors are, we set up a table on the outside, and we have a table on the inside, so we keep the 6 feet, open up the sliding doors, hand over the food. So it's strictly safe. Nobody comes in contact. Wireless terminals for payment. We haven't seen cash since the beginning of the pandemic. It's been all electronic payment. When the pandemic started, my delivery guys didn't feel comfortable delivering anymore, so they left us. So I'm like, what am I gonna do now? So I rehooked up with Uber and Skip, and all my deliveries have been unfortunately through them. But it's, at the end of the day, I did the math the other night. It's almost like having an employee on payroll when you give me the cut of the action. That's probably been the biggest change. I don't have my own drivers right now. They actually called me back a couple of days ago to come back to work, and now I'm debating. I don't know where you've been now for the last 30 days.
Right. They want to come back, but
Now they want to come back because now it's like the only people that have been in my restaurant are the people that have worked there. Nobody else comes and goes. And, because I don't want to get it contaminated. I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get my wife sick, the other guy sick. So now it's like, what do we do? Do we let them come back into the picture and risk it? I can't risk closing. It's been extremely, extremely busy. We can't, like today would be my first Monday off. I've typically closed on Mondays, but since the pandemic, we opened on the Mondays because we were so busy. Today would be my first day off since this all started. We've been working straight, nonstop.
wow. So, well, that part's encouraging.
Yeah.
Now I'll add a question in. What do you think has helped you get the word out the most? And maybe start with you, Giorgio.
We've been posting on Facebook, Instagram that we've been open. Our lights are always open, the outside lights, so people that walk by or drive by will say, "Oh, you guys are still open. Okay, we'll get a pizza," because everybody else is shut down. Either they've run out of money, they can't pay their rent, they don't have enough money to buy supplies, or most of their staff don't want to work. And I find some of these owner operators, this restaurant industry for them was a passive income. They'd go in, hang out, have some employees, and they don't know how to make any food or make any drinks. So luckily, all of us here today are hands-on. I can operate the restaurant with one other person, and I can get 400 orders, and we can bang it out. Most of these guys who operate restaurants are just, passive income, place to hang out.
Right. That's a good point. You have that control and experience with a smaller business too.
Definitely.
Yeah. How about you, Diana? What do you attribute your busyness to as far as marketing goes and getting the word out?
Well, we've always had a really good pickup and delivery business. I started in the business. We started Diana's as pickup and delivery only. The dine-in was added years later. So we've always had that solid core, I'll say. We just kind of went back to our roots, but we did post on Facebook. We still do post on Facebook, and sent out an e-zine to my customer database with everybody who's given me their email address. And then there's been a lot of pop-up local food bloggers and people who mean well and they want to get the word out for local. I don't know, maybe you guys have also seen there's a lot more of a push for shop local and support local. And so I get tagged on a feed, or I get an email saying, hey, sign up for this online forum and put your business in here. And so I've taken advantage of every one of those opportunities to list the business, to let everybody know that we're open, there are hours, and
Got some company there. That's okay.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
Yeah. Yeah, and so we find that that's helped a lot. And I mean, I have friends from pizzeria friends, restaurant tour friends from all over the world. And so I'm looking at what they're doing too. So early on, I saw one of my friends in the US started to offer pizza kits. So we put together a pizza kit offering. And it's one of the things that just gets shared and commented on all the social media. And so people who were slightly familiar with Diana's, but not regular core customers, started coming to get pizzas, make pizzas with the family. And yeah, it's been really good. We've been very busy. So
That's good.
Yeah, I think I have a lot in common with Diana and Giorgio as far as like the shop local and the support, and it's more than ever now. And a lot of, some big businesses in town have even tried to offer incentives to their staff or bonuses to their staff by buying local gift certificates, including ours. So we've had a lot of that as well, and it's probably led to some people having our pizza for the first time maybe and stuff. And a lot of that online stuff, people are at home on their phones more often than ever now, and they see what's going on and what's new. And I too have been sort of following what's been going on in the industry with the pizza kits and frozen pizzas and on all sorts. And I mean, we've done some of those things, but I mean, it's been such a whirlwind, and it's been actually pretty good, and business has been good. So just going with the flow. But if we never get to open the dining room again, I definitely have some ideas in place that'll help increase sales and keep the doors open for sure. That's nice. I guess we all have lots of experience and lots of support from the community, and so people are supporting us when we need it the most. So it has been really good. I don't know, did I answer all those questions? I think.
Sure, it sure does. Thank you. Yeah. I'm wondering, on a little more serious note, what of all the challenges going on right now, what do you feel is your biggest challenge? Corey, you want to start?
Sure, yeah, biggest challenges. I mean, gosh, if I rewind back to like early March, there was probably challenges in the restaurant industry anyways, right? I mean, cash flow and business was getting tougher and tougher, and your dollar was getting squeezed. So I was stressed before the pandemic. So coming into the pandemic, I guess, just cash flow and just business in general. But the formula has been good, and I applied for the wage subsidy the other day, and you still have to have cash flow to pay payroll for that. But I mean, I guess that's one challenge would be just cash flow in general. Trying to get the customers and the staff sort of on board with everything, and which hasn't really been too bad. But I mean, every day you're coming up with new policies and new procedures and new rules, and you're trying to advertise that and tell your staff and make sure everybody's on board. And so that, I guess, would be a challenge. I guess it's kind of like Diana said, going back to the roots. Just delivery, takeout, put everything in a box and get it out the door. So it's, if anything, it's a little easier if you get past all the pandemic stuff. So it's been fun. I've been answering more phone calls and working more than ever, for sure, just trying to make day-to-day decisions. So maybe a bigger challenge is ask my wife how she's doing at home with the kids.
Oh, I bet.
No, and
Yeah,
then right now just planning for the future, but we'll talk about that later, I'm sure. But I mean, just what's the future hold, and how are we going to handle that? That'd probably be a challenge right now for sure. That'll be my to-do list today for sure, is how are we going to handle this reopening of the dining room. So
right.
yeah,
Starting to be able to look ahead, but your mind's going 100 miles an hour probably.
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. How
Go
about
ahead,
you,
Dan. Sorry.
Diana? How about you, Diana, as far as challenges go? What's sort of the looms biggest on your mind, or has been?
Corey said it very well in terms of there were always challenges in the industry prior to all this hitting. But now, moving forward, well, I mean, I think it changes day to day and week to week. A week ago, we were wondering if one day we would get a notice that like we would have to shut down.
Yeah.
And so then what? Then after that, what to do? And so biggest challenge I'd say the day to day is keeping on top of all of the cleanliness, the sanitation, and making sure that my team members take care of themselves, take care of their own health, come to work, and not overwork, overstress themselves, and just fill the orders. We also have dough orders for in retail stores, so restocking, reorders, delivering those as well, and finding good team members. I need to hire 2 more team members right now for my kitchen, and we're not really sure how that's going to look with training. And I was just being so busy, social distancing, and it just this uncertainty. We're just not sure whether bringing on a new team member that brings in additional risk, and then it's brought everybody closer together, I would say, like within the team and within the community that we serve. And I guess the other thing would be that there's frequently there's daily and weekly announcements of different funding, relief programs that are available. And so reading through that, all those different documents to see if you are eligible for any of it, because you do want to take advantage of some things too. Wondering at what point your landlord's going to ask for more rent or ask for additional concessions because you've made it an interim agreement for this period. There's just all these uncertainties that until everything starts passing a little bit more, that you're just kind of dealing with day to day and week by week.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Giorgio? You've had to think on your feet as well?
Yeah, for us it's staffing, like Diana was saying. It just, we need more people, but you bring more people into the equation right now. You know, even with my deliveries of my suppliers, we've been going to get out of our stuff ourselves just to avoid people coming into the restaurant. The only thing I'm getting delivered right now is flour because it's too heavy for me to bring downstairs to the basement. But everything else, I'm going up to the warehouse to pick up I have a huge truck. Just to avoid the contact of 2 to 3 delivery guys coming in and bringing stuff in, every other day. So it's been a lot more stressful, and keeping on top of all these policies. You're responsible. We're the people who are going to make everybody safe in our environment. So keep on reading, and it's the language sometimes isn't very clear, or the message isn't very clear, right? So that's a big challenge for me.
What are some of the things that you guys have done to keep your sales? I think you've alluded to some of these, but you can touch on or expand on something to keep your sales up, or to maybe add a new stream of sales that you hadn't had before. Do you want to start, Giorgio?
Yeah, sure. We've actually been spending more money on marketing now than in the past. I just want to retain all these new customers we've been getting. Like I said before, everybody shut down in Toronto, more or less. There's on my block, on my street, like me and 3 other guys are open. So I'm getting all these new customers. So we've made new business cards with promos on them, safety seals for the pizza boxes with our name, with our Instagram and Facebook. I mentioned that we sell our pizza dough on the sticker. We're getting new T-shirts made So right now, it's a perfect time for anybody to brand themselves even bigger because you have all these new eyeballs on us that we've never had before. All these new customers that didn't know we were there, or maybe it was inconvenient for them to come to us before, but they're all coming now because there's not many options left. So I just you got to retain these new customers. Run a promotion. We're running a promotion right now. Just stuff like that.
Great, sounds smart. How about you, Diana? You talked about pizza kits and some other things you're doing.
Yeah, well, we've always been selling our dough and sauce. We have regulars who come in and buy the dough and the sauce from us. And like I said, we're in retail in 18 different Sobeys and Safeways here in Winnipeg. But putting it together as a boxed kit with the sauce and the cheese and the pepperoni, it's something that we hadn't done for over 10 years, I'll say. And that went over really well. It's very popular. Families are home and they're looking for something else to do, something that's not screen time, something that brings everybody together. Everybody loves pizza, so it's an easy sale, I would say. And then we also relaunched our frozen panzerotti line. So this is meant to be something that is not a meal for right now, it's a meal for later. So we just relaunched it with 3 varieties, but those have been going very well because it's not a fully baked product. There's no tax on it. So we'll have people come and literally buy 7 or 8 of them, put them in their freezer, and then later on in the week, they'll eat one and take a picture and post it. So like this cycle, yeah. We usually do a printed newsletter, but I haven't gotten one out yet because it's difficult to write it, because when I write it today and when it hits mailboxes could be 2 different environments. And so we're just holding off a little bit for that. We wanted to kind of put it out in May, but now we're looking at reopening. So reopening the patio, to say that more precisely. So before I go ahead and send that out, I want to make sure I have a little bit more of a firm, solid information to put in there.
Right.
Yeah.
We can definitely relate to deadlines coming in the middle of changes. Corey, how about you? You want to expand on some of the things you've been doing to bring more money?
I guess we had a lot of beer and wine in inventory, so they allowed us to sell that for takeout. And I've been known as a beer place. We have over 100 craft beer on our menu, so it's been fun. People have actually been walking in and getting 6 beer and a pizza to go, and it's been fun selling that. I've even actually ordered more beer since and kept up with some of the new beers that are out for the summer and stuff. So it's kind of nice selling, maybe half the amount of beer you used to, but they just take it to go. You don't have to give them a cup or clean up after them or anything like that. Our Tuesday deal is buy one, get one half price. And because we've been closed on Mondays recently to get some cleaning and painting done, our Tuesdays have actually really picked up. And so sharing that on social media and stuff, and even our Sundays have picked up because we're closed on Mondays. So it's almost like a day off, but the sales aren't affected that badly at all. Other promotions, I'm doing a Mother's Day bundle for next Sunday, and I'm teaming up with a local bakery that is reopening. They were actually closed earlier, I think around Christmas or so, but now it's the excitement of them reopening. They're teaming up with me first, and I posted that on Saturday morning, and we had sold about 40 bundles by Sunday night. So I think I might cut it off even. I don't know how much the bakery wants to do. And I love all the ideas. I love the frozen pizza ideas. I love the pizza kit ideas. I love all these ideas. I just I'll implement them when I sort of have time and when it's needed, I guess, and maybe some more space up front with some new fridges and stuff like that. But those are all ideas I've had anyways, and so now might be the time to start thinking about that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's cool to see everybody in the industry thinking of cool ideas. And there's actually a local pizza place that's a good friend of mine, and he's doing the pizza kits, and he made a really cool video with his family. So I'll let him have that, have the pizza kit glory for a while there.
That's great to hear. There's the demand. People seems to be for all of you. That's great. I guess maybe we'll look to the future a little bit. What's next, sort of on this May morning? What are you looking at? What's your next step, I guess? And it's hard to look ahead of maybe any more than one day, but what would you say, Diana?
We're looking at opening our patio next week or maybe the week after. We want to get it right, and so we're looking at procedures for uh, bringing in some dine-in guests in the patio. So we want to have like little bottles of hand sanitizer on the table as an added option for our customers that are coming to dine with us on the patio. Our province also recently announced that restaurants with a liquor license would be allowed to deliver alcohol. So I have been getting things ready to do that. So we brought in some different beers and cans, some of them that were on tap in the lounge to deliver as well. So just checking with the legalities of that, making sure that I have team members that are of age to deliver that and so on. But that's looking forward. That's what we're expecting the next 2-3 weeks. I mean, we're busy, so this is a blessing, and hiring another person definitely. And Mother's Day, I know we're just gonna get slammed. So it's just managing everybody's expectations that's coming to us. That we're very busy. It'll be a little while for your food, but it'll be hot and fresh when you get it. And yeah, other than that, I don't think we're going to be looking at adding too much more. Province has said tentatively reopening the restaurant spaces in June, as long as things go well with reopening some of the things in May. But because there's so many unknowns attached to that, we'll have to see what it is. Again, I mean, I think I speak for every restaurateur, every pizzeria owner, that you don't want to be a hub where the virus spreads. And there's still so much unknown about the virus itself, and who has it and who doesn't have it, and when you get tested or not tested and so on, that we're just doing our best to mitigate in between the lines.
Yeah, well said. How about you, Giorgio? What's on your mind today at the moment?
I'm not even sure if we're gonna even open up the dining room in June, July. I'm not even thinking that far. And if I did, I think I'd just do strictly reservations. We have about 40 seats, maybe knock it down to 20. If we're doing fine the way we're, operating right now. We're actually with less staff making more money. If I bring in more staff as waiters and waitresses and I only have 20 people, I can only seat 20 people. Is it worth it? Is the risk and everything associated with it? So, we're not even thinking that far ahead, but I'm afraid to open up the dining room, because in Toronto, we have a lot of people. Like right now, like to pick up your food, you're picking it up on the sidewalk. No, you're not even coming inside my place. Like there's a lot of people here, and you just don't know. You just don't know. So I'm afraid for that, and then I would have to shut down for who knows how long, re-sanitize the whole restaurant. One of my staff, my wife, I get sick. My dad, luckily my dad has been stuck here since November. He's been visiting from Italy. He's been helping me out, but my dad's in his 70s, and he lives above the restaurant, in the building there. So what if he gets sick, So I have all these people, like I gotta, that would affect me, right? So
Yeah,
I'm truly we're worried. Like I'm worried about everybody's health.
yeah.
Right?
Oh. How about you, Corey? What are you thinking about right now?
Well, like as we talked about off air there beforehand, the province has recently said that we can open up dining rooms by May 14th to 50%. But now the question is, like, are you serious? Like, really, should we? And there's some restaurants that probably will, and there's some restaurants that probably won't. And so we're gonna take it day by day. I don't think I'll open that day, that's for sure. We seat about 45. I could probably seat 20 in like individual booths and pretty spread out. It's tough. I mean, some of my staff are itching to get back to work. Some customers are itching to have a beer and have a pizza in the place for sure. But is it socially responsible? Should we do that? I definitely things I've thought about would be if it's call it phase one would be, paper plates and pizza served in the box and the customer basically cleans up after themselves, and we have a server sort of, monitoring all that. And then maybe eventually there's a phase two where it's a little more full service and servers are wearing masks and gloves, obviously, and there's only one person that runs food or something along those lines. I don't know. It's different. It's, Lethbridge is not a hotspot by any means, but we're following, big city protocols and Alberta protocols. But you never know, that might change by May 14th if people get too relaxed or too, take it not seriously enough, right? So it's a tough one. I'm kind of following national and provincial and city guidelines and just playing by ear. But yeah, definitely we're all learning a few things about our business here. Like he said, having servers, standing around and costing money when the dining room might not be full or whatever it is. I mean, we're all learning how to tighten up things, I think, for sure during this pandemic. And like I said, early March, there was going to be some changes happening anyways. So now fast forward and this has happened and there's going to be probably some changes happening anyways. So I don't know. I don't know what we'll do. Taking it day by day. So far, delivery takeout has been great. The support's been great, and we'll see how some of these other restaurants handle the opening. And maybe in June we'll do something like doors open, patio door open, seat 15 to 20 people. I don't know.
Right. It sounds like you're echoing.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Like, I'm sure there's a handful of people that are excited to go out, and they'll be respectful. But then there's also people that are going to be not very happy about that, right? Golf course is open this weekend here, and I heard it was pretty packed and pretty busy, but people were very respectful of the rules. So I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of unknowns. Yeah. Can I ask? And this is partly directed at you guys because you're taking so much on for yourself. But I wondered if you had any words of wisdom or motivation for other operators. But I'll add to that, like, what are you doing for yourselves to kind of handle the stress of this? Do you have an outlet? Giorgio?
I'm taking today off.
Good. We appreciate you talking to us too.
Yeah.
Day off.
So yeah, that's a good question. I haven't, like I'm gonna spend some time with the wife and kids, and have a friend coming over later on. He's been with me through the pandemic, driving me around. So we're gonna spend some time together. Just some downtime. It's been just work, worrying about everything else. So I think today I'm gonna focus on today. But it's been stressful. It's been stressful.
I'm sure. How about you, Diana? What do you have a way of de-stressing?
Well, a long time ago, or some years ago, I was going through a very difficult patch, and I learned that self-care is extremely important. And when I mean self-care, I mean putting yourself to bed at a good time. I mean eating really good food, drinking lots of water. It's not to say that you can't have a glass of wine or beer or that sort of thing, but you just don't binge on it. You don't binge on crap TV. You can bleep that out if you need to. I meditate every day. It's important. It helps me center my mind and my thoughts and focus on what's very, very important. There are days where there's so much chaos going around. I will take another 10 minutes and meditate throughout the day and have a reset. And then I know that I'm better able to deal with what's already on my plate and then delegate what has to be and leave the rest. And, yeah, if anything, that's just even more prevalent now, even more important now, because if I'm no good to me, then I can't take care of my boys, I can't take care of my business, I can't take care of the other people that rely on me for direction and leadership.
Right. Well said. What do you think, Corey?
I mean, advice for others as well, or like self-care?
Oh, sure, you can speak to either.
I mean, yeah. Hey, I'm blessed to have a beautiful wife and family and a gym at home, and that gets you a little energy for the day. And just come home and have a beer and a nice dinner, and eating at home, eating healthy. Trying to do as much fun things around the house as we can, for sure. advice for other operators. I mean, this is tough, and I guess I'd probably say Operation Survive has got to be your mantra almost. I mean, the Canadian restaurant industry said, I think one in two restaurants might not be able to survive this if it goes for 3 or 6 months or whatever it was. And that's pretty crazy, right? So just trying to survival mode and get through this. And hopefully at the other end of it, customers are appreciating, you know, value and service and how we handled it, and probably more excited to eat out than ever before and enjoy some great pizza and beer. And you know, I don't know. I guess that's kind of my top advice would be survive and get through this. And I guess sadly there could be less competition and less options, and a bit of an opportunity, I suppose, as sad as it is to say that. And you know, and for those that are watching this that maybe are doing great steps, maybe advertise those great steps. You know, like if you are doing contactless delivery and contactless takeout, and you're taking extra steps, maybe advertise that and let people know so they feel more comfortable. And yeah, I mean, there's an emphasis on health now and safety, and so that's going to be forever, I would say. So I think that's my advice there for sure.
That's great advice. And I know you guys are all getting the word out in interesting ways in your pizzerias. And Diana, you do the your e-newsletters as well as many other strategies.
I read every one of those, Diana.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Very nice.
We know Giorgio's on social. That's amazing. Keeping up. It's a pretty important outlet now, isn't it?
Definitely. I find that's where a lot of people we're getting a lot of attraction from social media. So for us, you know, being in a city like Toronto, it seems like everybody's on social media. So for us, it's been working, and it doesn't cost anything. It just costs me some time. So
it does take time.
Can I ask you a question? Giorgio, do you do the Facebook boost? Do you do paid?
I do. I was actually, it's funny you asked that, because when the pandemic started, I stopped all my Google AdWords, and I went strictly on social media marketing.
Really?
Yeah. And now this week I stopped social media marketing, and I went back to my Google AdWords, and I'm just gonna focus more on free posts on social media. But the boosts do help on Facebook and Instagram. But I find if you can tag the right person on Instagram, it can go a lot further than getting a paid boost with, you know, a local foodie, you know, one of those. I find those very powerful. Very powerful.
That's interesting. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, good tips. Great tips. Well, listen, I invite everyone who has joined us to watch this video to write in with your questions, to call us and share your experiences as well. And again, I really want to thank our three operators today for joining us. Giorgio Taverniti of Frank's Pizza House, Diana Klein of Diana's Cucina and Lounge, and Corey Med of Two Guys in a Pizza Place. I really appreciate your insights, and keep us up to date on what's going on. And then I wish you a good week, a good day, a good week, a good month, day by day.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Holly.
Take care.
Thank you.